Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Spencer, this is a epic episode. Epic. Who could win a 10-mile race, which is a really stupid title. Like, looking back now, it should have been like, who could
kill more?
Who could run 50 laps? Or something like that. Like something that just sounds better. Because I wanted the shows to be like, who could wear an octopus on your head? Who could fuck more chicks? Who's a bigger retard? Like shows when you hear the title, like you have to watch the show.
Yeah. I remember that argument.
And it's like, who could stand up the longest? Like that's not the show you want. Like that you really, well, maybe me, but I'm sure the fans still wanted to watch it. But when you think about titles for the episodes, who could wear a dead octopus on your head the longest?
You have to see that.
Like the one show. Like I've bumped into Mickey Rooney at the Oscars, and he's like, "Hey, octopus!" Like that was the show that traveled all over the world.
That went viral.
We went to Hamburg. Teenagers, squeegee kids were chasing us down the street. It was like insane.
But no one from 10 Mile Race chased you down anywhere?
No.
No.
They don't say, hey, you killed your mother. This is a 10-mile race episode, by the way.
All right. But I was going to say, yes, the name sucks. But I sometimes found that simpler the comp, it's like creates this pressure cooker where, you know what I mean? Like it's such a stupid idea, like who can knit more sweaters type of idea.
Yeah.
Where, like, look at the byproduct. Shitty title, but the master stroke of cheating. Like, it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, who pretends their mom's dead? Except for you.
That was unbelievable. I think at some point I wanted to pretend I died. But I couldn't really. It was just too much
too complicated. Because how are you going to coordinate that?
Yeah. But I think if it ever went to season 7, 8, or 9, or 10, like I would have eventually killed myself in some like insane car accident.
Coleman a body cast.
Yeah, I would have had some like Pakistani FedEx driver hit me and blow up like a fucking loaded tomato in front of Spenny.
Footage.
Yeah.
Or have you someone in a body cast that's not you? He thinks he's you, and he's like,
well, that's so hokey.
I know, but
the body cast.
How fun would that be?
Yeah, but anyway, but 10-Mile Race is a very special show because this is an episode. There were different types of episodes. One of the concepts I had for episodes, get out of here.
It was going to be called 13.5 kilometer race.
Yeah, something like that.
But didn't have the same ring.
No. It's that I trick the audience into being Spenny. So in this, what we did, we wanted the audience to think my mom was dead.
Yeah.
Just like Spenny was dead. There's some times when we don't let the audience in on the tactic.
Yeah.
We don't let them in on the joke. And this is a situation where if you believe Tara was really a girl, the show was much better. If you believe my mom was really dead, the show was much better. If you believed I broke my leg in skating,
right,
the show was better. Even though I don't think I was really savvy enough. But this was really bringing in the idea that let's keep the audience as clueless as Spenny. And so when they realize, like Spenny realizes that it's bullshit or give them these little hints, then it's just like, oh my God. So this was kind of like another level of the show.
And I just have to say, your relationship with Safi, your mom, who I love, she's the best, known her for my whole life. That impish, like I can't believe the shit you've said to her on camera and done to her, and she's so cool. Like she's
yes and no. I regret.
She got mad after a few times.
Yeah, she's from a kibbutz and she never really went to school and she's not the brightest.
So patient though, right?
Not the brightest candle in the menorah, let's just say. I'm trying to think of her as a mother. They were just my parents were just such immigrants, like just They were not really that savvy or aware. They had no street smarts whatsoever. And all of my Kenny persona, my being is really me rebelling against the kind of stupidity and the innocence of my parents. That I kind of think of Spencer as like my family, and who's just, just sheep and just kind of constantly gets abused by the world and society. And I watched my dad get abused by people because he was so nice and he did all these handshake deals. Someone
Lost so much money.
Lost so much money. We were so fucking poor. Spenny was so rich and we were so poor. And anytime my dad did a deal, he was like the worst fucking lawyer in the entire country. Someone would say, okay, Jack, here's the contract. Sign the contract. We'll give you your money. He'd say, a handshake is good enough for me. And he'd shake the guy's hand. He'd never get the money. So my whole life I watched my dad getting ripped off and abused. And so I swore to myself that I am not going to fucking ever be taken advantage of and abused.
But I will take advantage of and abuse my best friend.
Yeah, who reminded me of my dad, kind of. It was just a sap. So my dad never had a drink, never had a smoke. Spencer is a raging alcoholic and drug addict, like raging. So, it was easier to abuse him. But I think it was Who's the Crazier episode where the guy was doing Gestalt, and it made me realize that I'm actually abusing my own father.
You are. Yeah, it's like this cyclical, like...
Who I loved. My dad was the sweetest, nicest guy in the world. Never swore, never raised a finger to me, was just the most loving, caring, affectionate, wonderful
We never raised a finger,
person
but
ever.
a baseball bat, the whole other...
Yeah.
Jack Hotz.
Jack Hotz, the man, the greatest, probably one of the greatest dads in the world, but a shitty businessman and a bit of a...
Well, I mean, let's be honest here.
A bit of a
you haven't,
sap.
you haven't talked to your dad for a long time.
I haven't spoken to my dad in at least 30 years. I did that joke. I used to say that joke to girls. You go, well, what your parents are like? I go, well, my dad hasn't spoken to me in 20 years.
And they'd be like, why? What happened?
Yeah, and I go, well, he died 20 years ago. But most of the time I would do that in LA to a girl. She'd say, oh, yeah, I haven't spoken to my dad in 5. And I'd just be like, oh, shit. I can't even finish
There
the
goes
joke.
the punchline.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
Anyway, so mom, I abused her, putting her head in the oven in the Auschwitz, and that was not. I kind of look back at that, and that was. I had this theory that if I make fun of Jews, racists can't do it, and I think Borat kind of started doing that stuff too later on, but it wasn't. I kind of cringe back on the Holocaust play, and I actually feel bad about doing that. I feel bad about doing Dump Your Pants, and it was just this blur of fucking shit, cameras every day,
Cocaine,
and there are some bumps, but I regret things, and the reality is, you helped me. Make sure you enabled me, and you made sure like we're not on Netflix now, and I'm on fucking. I have to do this, like, you know what I mean? Like the kids in the hall came back.
I made sure you didn't.
Like how like no, we're not coming back. You want us to come back?
Yeah, of course, come back.
Who's gonna put us
U.
on? Who's gonna put us on? Honestly, I killed my fucking mother in this show.
It's blue humor. All this shit's blue humor. Google it. But
Jew humor.
Or Jew humor. I don't know, man. It's like 88 episodes, such a potpourri.
89.
Right? A potpourri.
89?
88.
89, no, Christmas special.
That's 88.
No, and the pilot?
Yeah, it's 88.
89?
No, 88.
No, I think it's 89.
I'll bet.
I'll bet you.
All right, man.
But steak
88.
dinner?
Steak dinner, man.
Okay, 89.
88.
No way, it's 89 episodes.
Oh, man. It's not.
No, I think you're forgetting he's a bigger idiot. And both.
Well, no,
blacks.
but that's the thing, though, is the two-parter count as 1 or 2.
It's 2 episodes. It's 2 episodes. You're a mistake.
Let's see.
89 episodes. A double to be continued is another episode. 89. Sorry, bro. I like prime rib. Okay, so let's start. You lost.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Fuck you, man.
89.
No, you gotta see. Check this out. How do I get this Ed versus Spencer? Jesus, 5.8 on IMDb.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Reality TV comedy.
It's
80
89.
Look at that bitch. What do you see?
No, that's wrong.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
88
because I don't think it
episodes.
has the pilot on it. That's just IMDb. It's 89.
Who can gain the most weight? Episode 0.
Yeah, go to Christmas special. Christmas special's not on
It's
there.
under 7. It's under question mark. Christmas special.
So go to.
I've done my homework.
No,
bitch.
no way.
I have.
I know it's
love you.
89 because I loaded up 89 episodes.
No, you're wrong.
One second.
Okay. I hate it when we fight, but
Yeah, if you're right, I honestly, that,
I am
that would blow
100%
my
right.
mind. No,
288 Sherburne, 88 episodes.
no way. Where's blacks? Let's see what it says about who do black people like more. Because that was,
Google it. 88 episodes.
I think it's 89.
I am the.
I have done more
historian.
drugs than you, so I wouldn't be surprised.
You have done more drugs than me. I'm jealous.
Okay, what season is who do black guys like more?
5 maybe? 4? No, it wasn't 4.
No, you says you're right. How is that 88?
See, man, it's like Memento. You just fucking your whole universe just changed.
It
It's
is.
It's like you just found out you got adopted or something. It's okay.
What about pandemic? Ha ha! No, that doesn't count.
No, it's not Kenny versus Spenny joint.
Kind of is. It's Kenny Knott versus
It's like
Spenny.
a home movie. It's
Kenny Knott versus Spenny.
Spenny versus.
You know, originally Spencer wanted to do the show where we would go. This, I swear to God, he wanted us to go to Argentina and build a school for homeless children. That was like his idea for a show where we pulled together to accomplish these Herculean tasks
on the same side.
on the same side.
That sounds like a. That sounds like a.
Well, it could be a new show, and I would just totally fuck with them. You know, I'd slip them some poison frog.
I think no matter
pee.
what the concept, it will always be Kenny
Yeah,
versus Spenny.
yeah.
You can call it fucking
Yeah.
Bob's Vacation. It's still
Yeah.
Kenny versus Spenny. Always.
Okay, so let's start this. We're blabbing.
All
Okay,
right,
here we
well,
go.
I know I'm eating-
This is
I
10
know who's
Mile
paying for
Race
steak later.
Showcase original. I was paying for steak anyhow. It was a no-brainer.
All right, let's jump in, man.
Who? Come on, who
It's what
treats
your
though?
mom
You
got.
got to tell how.
This guy, he's a treater on production. on
Some
production's
people
money.
treat, some people don't. But even just as a whole,
No, very generous.
yeah, I'd be
You're-
very generous.
You're a very generous man. I appreciate it. I'm not kissing ass. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You
Well,
are-
we
you are
like
generous.
good things, and you were, you know,
Earned it.
as responsible as Spencer
An
in
enabler.
doing the show. If it wasn't for you, there wouldn't even be this show.
Thank you.
Sebi, this is the third Beatle.
The third Beatle. The fifth Beatle.
The third.
That was. That was
Time
George.
mankind has performed.
What a great intro. It still
Yeah, that
holds
was
up.
Monty Python,
It still
The Seven
holds up.
Samurai, High Noon, Riefenstahl
Mein Kampf.
Nazis, Mein Kampf. Oh, do you know? I think I had an armband in when the Nazi Kennys are walking past that they took out as a K, and I had the Nazi armband on it, so they blurred that out. Yeah.
Shit.
All right, here we are, 10 Mile Race.
Knowing this comp right away. Oh yeah, you knew right away.
Yeah. So I did this from the beginning, and the fuck shirt was incredible. Nobody had a fuck shirt.
It's just a.
I think I
blatant-
found that shirt in Boys Town. I don't even think I made it. Like I found it at a T-shirt store in the gay village, our house was kind of in the gay village, so Spenny could see his family. But this is a good example.
Okay.
This is a good example of how I would use the couch as an opportunity to manipulate Spencer before the show. Just like this. 1 second.
So your plan is so cool. Like you know where this is going, but it's just like just distractions.
Turn your cell phone off when we're working.
Look at that Starbucks cup, not Greek. Like back then, you know, we didn't have to cover, like, but you know, now everyone's Greeking everything.
What does Greeking mean? I mean, not the sexual.
Ask your
kind.
dad.
All right, fuck this. I got shit to do. Let's
Google
go.
it.
We'll go
You know, the Greeks invented sex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the French invented sex with women.
How do they practice safe sex in Greece?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Brand the goats that kick. Why didn't the Greek kid run away from home?
Why?
He didn't want to leave his little brothers behind.
want landmines on
10
the
mile
track,
race.
nothing. The
Greatest
track
title
will
of
be
all
in pristine
time.
condition just the way it was intended.
I ordered
This
this
is a race.
a week
He's
ago.
gonna lose,
Very
and it's ridiculous.
What season
No
was this?
Galilean.
3?
What does that mean?
Jeff Galooly.
Galooly.
The guy who was with Tanya Harding, who they.
You can't touch me.
I would
Jeff
appreciate
You
Galooly.
cannot touch
I
me
don't wanna
physically.
touch you.
And
Next
I
rule.
can't touch you
Next
physically.
rule. Shut up.
No, which means
Next
I
rule.
I love these debates over the rules.
And he can't move me
Some of the
because he's not
funniest
allowed to
shit.
touch me.
Because we didn't start doing the rule board till like season 2, right?
Well, no, I think the
We never did season
rules were, intermittent. Sometimes we'd show them, sometimes
Yeah, but
we'd
we
pick
didn't
them
start doing
if
till
they.
season 2.
Fucking race, dude.
But it's an opportunity to go over the
That was
minutia.
Spencer. That was Spenny smiling. Like that is such a rare thing where he was kind of laughing at the situation. He's never done that.
Take me through my paces and gonna teach me how to run 10 miles.
Oh yeah, geez. Oh, what should I do in a 10-mile race? Oh, I'll get a professional racer.
10 miles.
Yeah, like he's gonna train for a day or two to fucking like.
Good stamina.
What a knob.
Unless I'm doing
This is definitely
I'm
a
3-mile runner, basically, and we're talking about 10
a competition that Spenny wanted to do.
I don't even
Yeah.
think
That he was amazed that I agreed to do.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah,
I got beard.
smells
Look at
good.
this beard drift.
exhausting.
Is that joke
Why
millions
don't I just get
homeless?
10 guys named Miles and I race them? Does,
Look at you trying to
does
cook
it
it
even
up.
mean I have
Yeah.
to win? No, I just gotta
But we
race.
know,
I just gotta
we know
race
what.
10 miles.
See, which is weird,
plot is.
confusing because this is
Hi, Mom.
The good news
this is me knowing that
essentially
Now the
my
choice.
mom is not going to die. That my mom's going to die, and I'm tricking the audience into like.
Now
I'm
was that
just
choice made in the edit? Because I'm pretty sure you talked about it, but I think the choice was made in the edit to conceal it from the audience. Is that true?
No, I think I was just playing the part of my mom dying in case Spenny was on the staircase listening or something. It's like I am going
Committed to
to
it.
pretend
Right.
that my mom is going to die, and I'm just playing the part. I'm just sticking to it, focused.
True.
I need to find an African man named Foot who's really big and burly who will piggyback me across a 10 miles.
I love you just fucking with the loopholes here.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's total like red herring, smoke screening,
10
Spenny.
miles, 10 miles race. Is that fine?
don't break my
Because he thinks you're still thinking about the comp, and then the mom thing just like slips in there.
I love that line. Why do you have to break things? Entropy. Like it's so smart. It's just
remember that.
incredible. But that came from your father, entropy. He told me about
He's a
entropy.
lazy
The
life.
linguist.
Yeah.
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 My mother,
So
when I was a
these are
baby, she
some.
used to bend me.
Oh,
And
this
like
is
people would say,
amazing.
You're gonna break them, and of course you can't break a baby, but
Can't break a
the point is,
baby.
I was
You
What are you
can.
talking about?
You can't.
when I was younger,
You
I was
couldn't
still very
break a
flexible,
hymen.
as you can see.
It is flexible.
One sec.
Bending over like that.
See, this is.
Yes, Kenny.
Flip phones.
Honestly,
That dates him.
Yeah.
this isn't some.
Okay. See this. The problem with this show
He claims
is if Spencer doesn't fall for this, the entire fucking show is ruined.
And I think
Like how like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, he doesn't buy it. Okay.
trying
He
to
knows-
See, I haven't
he
seen
knows
this in
better
so
by now.
long. I forgot that we went to the hospital with mom.
I'm not falling for it. I'm done.
I remember
I'm
in a
done. I'm
wheelchair.
smart now.
Yeah.
What, how did you talk
I
her
know
into it?
better.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, you know what? She didn't have a choice. She know this is business.
Get in a chair.
Yeah, like we're going
Older
to do
abuse.
this.
Look what I.
Yeah.
Look what you made me do to you.
And she's like a country peasant, so to even be on camera
Oh, look at that.
and be important is incredible for her.
But you're like, be
There's- I
tired.
brought
Did you
Miriam.
drug your mom? Why is she so tired? Is she pretending to be tired, or did you drug her?
I think she's pretending.
Give her some like NyQuil, sleepy time.
Don't go so fast.
Or just push it. Miriam, will you take
But I also remember
take that and just go,
keeping our distance, right? Because like we wanted to show that we were being respectful
Yeah.
to Sophie's situation,
sure
but then it adds a.
Feel better, okay?
That's the one thing I learned in television. Like the further away you get from the action, it
Well, do you
adds
know
a
what?
layer
The
of realism.
truth is, everyone was getting old. Everyone was dying around us. All of his family was fucking dying at this time.
Vince had just
You know,
died.
yeah, his
His dad.
he came from we both came from older families, so it's very common for everyone to be dying, and it was just expected that our mom,
So 10 miles
like
is
his mom, just died.
Who's Mark Cohen? Where do you find these people?
I don't know. What Jew?
But the production officer find
Some simple
Cohen?
stretches, maybe some
Okay, that building behind him is the building that I grew up in my entire life. It's the apartment Montebello, and we lived next to William Shatner's parents.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
once
lived
upon a
there.
time.
I lived there till I was 5 years old.
Who's
And
William Shatner to our millennial audience?
Captain Jerk. But this is the playground, the park that I grew up in my entire life, and I would make the crew go to these tracks because I said, oh, take them to that track because they were scouting, where should we go? And I go, go to the track near the building I grew up with because I wanted these locations in the show.
Totally.
That when I watch the show, it's filled with all of the restaurants I went to as a little kid that are all gone now.
Totally.
All of the places I grew up in, and it was very personal to me.
This is a time capsule of old Toronto in your life.
And here we go.
Look at Spenny's face. I remember getting that shot. The empty bed.
Yeah, it was depressing, even for
And
me to see
no
my mother.
music?
My mother in the bed. Yeah, I'd pull
But
the
I
music
love
out of that.
I love that. Just
Yeah.
quiet.
People really
I
believed
remember
my
getting
mom
that
died.
shot. I know. This is like
It's a really smart, incredible show.
It's another episode where things just fucking changed. Miriam fucking
Look
winning
at
her
that. That way she
Oscar.
hugged him is just perfect. She's such a bitch.
Kenny?
The Hotses.
Miriam fucking like had your back though, man. Like she's a loyal sister. Fucking and Ronnie.
Well, we all.
The fact you'd play along though with pretending your mom was dead is so fucked up too. Like only the Hotses. Only the Hotses.
Miriam was great. Her best line is, "It's not kosher." She ordered non-kosher food. Now it's just milking
Look
money
at
out of
Doug.
him.
Doug believes it. I don't think Doug knew. Spenny's
Yeah.
crew did they know? Doug didn't know.
I don't think so.
Because I think the less people that knew, the better.
Yeah.
The better it was. Like, couldn't take any risks.
What's going on?
But you gotta change your shirt.
You gotta change your shirt.
Because when people die, it's not just about you, it's about
It's
all
true.
their friends and all their family.
He knows.
You can't wear the shirt that says "fuck."
Does your brother know what's going on?
Yeah.
Whenever somebody dies, there's so much fighting.
I remember getting this shot. I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
remember
I
fucking
just
staying
wanted to.
back. I loved it.
That's everyone has their
This was a fun episode to shoot because we weren't up fucking close to the wide angles.
Yeah.
Like far
Well,
away.
this is a show where it's like, okay, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. I just went and you just documented it. You know what I mean? There was no time for setting up funny shots or anything. It's just
Totally.
like you just had to film the documentary about
Well, I
a
also
lady
remember-
dying during a show.
And like as far as I think it just gets discussed at some point, but the logic of why we keep filming under these circumstances is that like I think Spenny understood is like we're under contract, we have to film everything. We can decide whether or not to use it later.
Yeah.
But we have to film.
But
it
you know,
all.
I was saying my mom had a tough life. She did have a tough life. Her dad was murdered when she was 3 years old, and her
well, he died during.
no, he was
Her brother
murdered
died in his-
on his way to work.
That's fucked up.
And then her brother, who, she only had her mom and her brother, older brother, who was older than her, who she looked up to like God, was one of the first Israeli Air Force pilots, and then he died in his plane. His friend was flying in the plane next to him, and as a joke, tapped his wing and
Oh, I
fucking
didn't know
killed
that.
him. Him and his
Fuck, I
teacher.
think I shut down.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Now, do we have to blur this guy's face, or was that just to add like? a
I think
level?
we had to once they realized it was fake. They
Oh,
didn't want to be a
that's
part of
right.
it. Oh, this is gold.
This is less is more to like an art form. Like you're not
Where is
talking
that?
and you're quiet.
What house is that?
Spenny, your shirt says Z-Brain.
You can't have meat and cheese, you
Moraine, that's the term. Remember the Moraine thing?
This is the best. You just spent all this money on food.
You're eating it.
Oh, it's
I'm not kosher.
Who's that dude? What's that Ben?
it's Ben.
He's just pigging it.
Oh, look, there's Madeline, my little cousin.
Do it right.
Do you have cookies and
Now, if I have cheese, do they have to be in a separate building? Like, what?
Look at Miriam's just giving him the gears.
Oh, yeah.
Miriam, did she ever like Spenny?
So Miriam and her family moved to Dubai.
Kenny care about kosher?
So they live in Dubai. If you guys, anyone goes to Dubai, go visit Miriam.
I think Miriam liked taking the piss out of Spenny for this.
Oh,
though.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
She was like, yeah.
yeah.
Like,
No, it's
enjoyed
all about
getting mad
him
at
spending money. So he spent all this money on this food, and it's like we can't use it. Like not only
Ben's like
it's not
fucking-
only him spending money; it's the fact that the money that you spent is useless, and you fucked up.
Yeah, sure, just Moraine.
Kenny, am I traveling with you and your brother? I just want to know where.
I love it. That's the thing, man. Like you underestimate
crazy-
yourself. Like you're so quiet.
Yeah,
like,
I'm,
you're quiet.
I'm a great actor. Here's
don't
a
talk.
problem. I was being groomed to be an actor in Los Angeles.
I think you're gonna say something else.
And when I did Zack and Miri, I had this really big agent, Irwin Moore at William Morris, and they wanted me to be an actor, and I started going on all these crazy HBO auditions and stuff, but I couldn't act in anyone else's stuff. I couldn't memorize shit, and I got too nervous, and basically when I realized that I wasn't going to be an actor,
Scarface blanket.
yeah,
That's
that's when I kind of left LA, and my Hollywood career kind of died.
I remember so many times thinking of that.
But I was so upset. Like I loved cinema. There's
wanna
nobody who
act,
loves
yeah.
film more than me. I
True,
wanted
very
to
true.
be an actor, and I just couldn't do it. And that changed. That changed.
You're always best in
I
an
regret
improvisational
not
situation.
staying in LA and being an actor. Because people really loved me there. I had a lot of friends, a lot of celebrity pals. They're all like, "You're so great." We'd all go out. I'd crack a million jokes. I was so quick-witted. People, I had a certain diplomacy where it's celebrities like Joni Mitchell wouldn't let me leave her fucking house. Everybody I met wanted to hang out with me and just liked me, and I really could have milked that if I was an actor, and I didn't.
Well, I remember so many times you did incredible shit and be like, "Fuck, dude, wait for the camera, right?" And we'd roll in it, and you did it a second time, it would never be as good as the first.
Okay, this is seriously the worst thing that we ever did in the history of the show.
Okay, but let's start production office. So like, you want to fucking do what? Send Spenny to a funeral? They're like, okay, well we have to hire
No, one second.
actors.
1 second. Yeah.
They want to produce it. Remember, it's
Yeah.
going to cost thousands of dollars.
That we didn't even have the money to really do a real funeral.
And it was,
So-
it was my idea, dude.
Was it your idea?
Look in the classifieds.
Oh, maybe it was.
I think it was.
So, which is
Which
the
is so dark.
worst, the darkest, worst thing. So what happened was we look in the newspaper, we find a Jewish funeral, and we just send Spenny to it.
Yeah, because we're like, okay, we need.
So
him to go to
now,
the
so
funeral.
all of a sudden, we
know it's
don't need
Saturday
to
at 10 o'clock.
pay for anything. We don't need to
production's
do
fucking,
anything.
like,
This is somebody else.
appalled.
This is somebody else's
They're so
funeral
appalled.
that we're shooting a comedy
They
show
have to do our own
using
blur-
their
and they were
death,
so worried about location,
using their
permits.
death. And it was the most
Yeah.
brilliant idea. And the crew, a lot of the crew refused to do
Refused
this.
to come out and shoot it.
And I didn't say, if you don't shoot it, we're firing you. This is the fucking show. But the truth is, this is somebody else's funeral. And we didn't pay for anything.
Yeah,
A real
person's
person died. And Spenny's about to go up to this poor family's thing. And why didn't anybody from the family ever come and say?
It was blurred. Everything was anonymous.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The best part is that he's driving in somebody else's funeral. I'm not even in the car.
Yeah,
And he thinks he's going to my mother's funeral.
I know.
And we used a real funeral, somebody else's funeral, as a prop in our comedy show.
The best.
It really is the most disgusting,
It's so
horrible
terrible.
thing ever. But that's why you love the show, because I'm actually willing to do something that is so fucking putrid and horrifying to everybody for your entertainment.
It's so insane. I just remember the long discussions.
I don't want any
We'll never get permission to
Look at
shoot in
these,
a
we're showing
cemetery. We'll
license
never get
plates.
permission
Yeah, why?
to
Can you
film
imagine,
people
like
who
the
are actually
family?
grieving.
Well, it's 20 years old already, but if the family, like, we would have been sued for millions.
Yeah, yeah. But look, there's people there. He's like, yeah,
Ricer.
it, things
Such
you
an
do to
idiot.
win.
Why am I walking?
Because you figure you had all this time. Like, how long does it take to walk 10 miles?
Well, the only
Yeah, look at
problem
that.
is
Those
because
people-
he looked at the tapes like a guy who could have just said I won.
Isn't that amazing? Oh, this is the best.
That's a real fucking funeral.
funeral? Hot's funeral?
Is this a Hot's funeral?
Why is he even asking? I guess he didn't recognize anybody.
Look at that.
Thank you for looking so terrible.
Trying to kill her.
We're all gonna
Oh,
help.
Sophie.
But at least we'll be together.
The reveal. Look at Spenny.
Finally gets it.
So disgusted.
Be- because when you're told this is the funeral, if she's actually dead, it'll be much easier to convince Spencer.
Oh my god.
So I'm wondering how many of you actually believed my mother died. I think it was a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, the way it's shot, it's very like solemn. He's so angry. So he's angry because of the deception, but also.
Yeah. What an
Like, who
idiot.
fakes her mother's death? Like, there's only one Kenny Hotz. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, who would do that?
And find somebody buried.
I love this.
Yeah. This is when I hork
You
on his
spit
shoulder.
on his shoulder.
This is
I
it.
remember
Yeah,
shaking
you were-
laughter. I couldn't believe it. It
But-
was so funny.
It's so funny that I would do that. Just the goober,
Shit. It's so funny.
Jamie.
He can't even run.
It's impossible that I lost this.
I love this episode.
10
'cause
miles
it's so,
is a lot.
It's so great though, because it's such a deviation from the format. You know what I mean? Like, it just the tone of it, the shots. Like, look at the distance.
Makes no sense, you won.
His crew's getting out, freaking out. Everyone felt so deceived. Like, you're in the background.
Oh god. You see, but you know what? This works. You know, even now watching this, like, it's so great. I love it. What's my shirt say? It's not the Dick Force shirt, is it?
It's a big fork.
Yeah, I was cramping
Now,
up.
how many laps have you done at this point?
He's been running for a bit. Look at him. Fuck, he's still got a good pace. Shit. God, I know.
See, now I can't watch this. I can't watch it because I hate the shows that I lose. It's stupid. Though
Nice funeral.
Was it a nice funeral?
Destruction.
Was it a nice funeral? Did lots of people show up?
You can do it.
Do it now.
Now, how come you didn't want to run?
Too far ahead.
I know. I can't
Oh yeah,
run.
because you thought you were gonna win.
You know what? The way I sell this to myself is that he couldn't win. I couldn't win every episode.
Well, you
I
already humiliated
kind of
him.
pretend that I already humiliated him, and I pretend that
But you-
I don't mind losing this stuff just because, it made the show better that he would win some episodes, but I really don't believe it. It did.
I think at this point too, I know your legs hurt, but like at this point, you've created a great fucking episode,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's not about
It's probably
this. No one gives a shit
yeah,
about
I
going on
should
a
have won.
track.
But
gives a
it's
fucking
probably better that he won. But I don't exercise. Like I've never worked out. That's a lot for me. 7 miles. Jesus fucking Christ. Sucks. Well, his humiliations
you
were the
wearing dress
worst.
shoes too.
Probably his humiliations were the worst. He couldn't think of a humiliation. So even if I lost, he's making me pretend I'm a dog sniffing a hydrant.
Donnie, Jamie.
Time.
Yeah, whatever.
Humiliation for the
Oh,
10-mile
this
race
is this when I jerk off in front of my mom?
his mother,
No,
who
that's
is
another
not
one.
deceased,
You get
thank God,
spanked.
is going to spank him.
Oh
But I think you got mad though. You didn't like this.
no.
I think you hated this.
And she wants to spank you.
It's coming to you.
Yes.
It was too much.
This is a grown man being spanked.
But yeah, you're like, I don't give a fuck. Sure, spank me.
Now watch.
Look how mad he is right now.
have a red bottom, but I am not a retarded.
Trying to turn this around.
There's a pitch
He's trying to
T-shirt.
turn this around. The reality is, it's a win for Spenny, a loss for Kenny. He's about to be spanked by his mother.
It's such an easy humiliation.
It's so easy.
Oh my lord. You ever gonna do that again? Actually, loser.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's funny though.
this has been one of the worst experiences of my life, but I have to say,
I'm pretending
this
it hurt.
humiliation makes it almost
That is actually. I forgot. That's a pretty good humiliation.
Me more than it does you.
Look at the shot though, right?
Yeah.
That's me, the camera on the floor, getting an epic.
She doesn't even care that far. I can't do anything wrong.
I'm gonna die. So I think it's better that you die.
You're reasoning with your mom.
Like I said,
I was gonna buy you in the kitchen. You're willing to die to pretend that you died.
Pretend yes.
I'm gonna make it.
that's
look
funny.
like you died.
Pretend,
You
yes.
understand that?
What was the bribe?
Yeah,
What'd you
but
tell
why
her?
do I have to do it?
Why
You
do I
can
have to
get
do it?
Another mom, my other
way.
mom.
Another way out.
Oh, it's so
What's
funny.
the-
You
what other
convinced
way
I
your
do
mom.
love that woman. She's still alive,
Then you can have
unfortunately.
Somebody else. Spencer
I love you.
dies, so
Negotiate
you
It's his
with her.
deli. I don't think we used it.
to run against him.
Oh, this is
I
gone
could
now.
kill Spencer.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Kill your show together.
So yeah, I would end every show with me because Spencer was never in the edit suites. So every end title was me.
That's great.
just-
but what a great audio, like just you talking to your mom about.
Well, we had the recording
reasoning
of
with her.
we had the recording
Yeah.
of me asking her to kill herself, and she goes, "Yeah, no problem."
Well, first she's like, "Why do I have to die? Why can't you die?" And you're like, "No, mom, you don't understand. Like this."
But that way, that's a brilliant idea. If I think about, well, I should have just died.
But then you couldn't have masterminded all this shit that you did.
No, but it would have been so great if I died because Spencer's career would have been over. He lost the show, all of that
Show's
stuff.
canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wouldn't compete anymore because why?
No,
bother?
he can't, yeah.
And then meanwhile you do it while
Yeah,
he's
and then
grieving.
it would be like the lawyers come out and say, "No, Kenny's estate, you can't continue the show." And I should have maybe been a lawyer, get some weird mask, and then I could have been the LA producer. And there was just so many different things to
offer
do.
him his next and then he could have auditioned Kenny replacement.
That was a great episode. Sometimes I do shows, live shows. I'm always ask the fans, "What's your favorite episode?" And sometimes, rarely, but sometimes people say 10 Mile Race.
Yeah, well, that's pretty great. It's a standout. Like it really stands out.
Yeah.
You know?
It was the narrative thread throughout that show. Like that's a real story driven Kenny versus Spenny episode, as opposed to just a vignette one, like, mini comps or, so. Anyways.
Yeah, and again, like imagine if the comp was just the two of you on a racetrack and training. Like who fucking wants to see that? Like imagine you and him
I
training.
still think that might have been funny. I'd have trained eagle, pull out his eyeballs or fall into
Yeah,
a
yeah. No, but imagine
bamboo
imagine
spikes
if
or-
the show was you and him get personal trainers. You just train for 3 days and you race.
Well, that's what he wanted to do.
But like, who wants
He
to watch that show?
he wanted us to get the same trainer and just work out together and then run a race. Because
We would have been canceled. Season 3
Yeah.
would have been the last season of Kenny versus Spenny.
season one, episode
If
1 would have
Spenny
been.
had his way.
Oh my God! After the pilot,
Yeah.
we do the pilot, and I cheat, and he refuses to do the show. He wants to do the entire show fake. I stole his food. He had no idea how important it was. I was the guy who was the Machiavellian cheater who put the fucking funny in Kenny versus Spenny. We did pitch, and I'm cracking jokes in pitch, and he's like, "Stop making jokes." I was going, "What? Like, stop making jokes?" And like an idiot, it was so long ago. I actually was like listening to him, and he ruined that. The movie was fine, but I figured
great.
he ruined that. He ruined the movie because I was so stupid and young and green that I actually listened to him. And the more I listened to him, the worse everything got. And then the seasons of Kenny versus Spenny progressively was just me not listening to him more and more and more and taking more and more control. And the more control we took, the better the show got.
Hands
The
down.
more he got stepped on, the more he was abused, the funnier the show is.
Totally.
Anyways, that was 10 Mile Race. Love you.
The best.